Welcome to Tempo. My name is Coach Jennison, and thank you so much for joining me today for a 30-minute full body weight workout. Today's workout is absolutely great if you don't have any weights or if you just have a really hard workout and you just need to get your body moving. Simple format for today. We're going to start with a warm-up. We're going to get into some core activation, and then we're going to get into some full body strength moves and the cool down. All right, let's get that warm-up going. So we're going to start today with some reverse lunges and a twist. So we'll just take our time here, depending on how warm your body is, depending on what time of the day it is. You may need to move slowly, just alternating our feet back, twisting our torso. So now we're starting to warm up our hips, knees, ankles, and our spine with this twist. Couple more here. All right, now let's just get into some arm circles. So we'll take our time here, as big or as small of arm circles as feels good. I'm just kind of rotating, switching back to forward and back, taking my time. If you'd like, you can just do some single arm, big arm circles. We're just warming up that shoulder joint here. All right, now we're gonna get into some hamstring scoops. So I'm just gonna stick my heel out, reach down to the ground, pull up. So now we're stretching out the backs of our legs, our hamstrings, and our low back a bit here. Make sure that as we're going through this warm-up, we are breathing and just taking our time to warm up our body. All right, we're gonna go really quickly back to those reverse lunge, twist. Try to get a little deeper in that lunge, little deeper in that twist. Little deeper in that lunge, little deeper in that twist. Make sure we're breathing here. Couple more here. All right, now we're gonna get into a core activation. So we're gonna get down on the ground here. A couple of exercises here to get our core engaged for our workout. So we're gonna start with the tuck up. I got my hands on the sides. I'm reaching my torso back and my legs out and bringing everything up. Out and up. Feel free to keep your hands here to support you. Make sure as you are doing this tuck up, keep your back nice and flat.
Did you eat?
Yeah.
So we don't want to round it back like this. Back nice and flat.
Oh, wait, how so?
All right, now we're gonna switch
Chickens
to
in there.
a plank walk. So you can either be on your toes or on your knees. We go elbow, elbow, hand, hand. Elbow, elbow, hand, hand. On your toes, it looks like this. We're on our toes. Make sure our core is nice and strong. And we are breathing, not holding our breath. All right, now we're gonna switch back to our back for a flutter kick. So a flutter kick, back flat on the ground, low back stays on the ground. Hands to our side, and we're here fluttering. Doesn't matter how high your feet are off the ground. A little easier up here, a little more difficult down here. Key thing though, make sure that low back stays on the ground. So I'd rather your feet be up here than having a huge arch in your back with your feet fluttering nice and low. All right, we're gonna go through all those one more time. So we're gonna start with that tuck up. If you're feeling good, feel free to lift up your hands. If not, nice and supported here. Make sure we're breathing. Couple more reps here. All right, we're gonna switch on over to that plank walk. Since we've done this before, if you wanna change the pace, maybe speed it up a little bit, feel free. If you wanna try it from your toes, if you were doing it from your knees before, feel free. Make sure we're breathing, and make sure our core is nice and strong and engaged. All right. Last little bit of this core activation. We're flipping over to that flutter kick. Remember, low back stays on the ground while we're fluttering. So again, feet can be up here, feet can be lower. So make sure we're breathing. It can be very easy to hold our breath doing core. And holding our breath does not help us with the workout. So make sure nice deep breaths in and out. Couple more seconds here. All right. Great job. Well, since this is body weight, we don't need to set up any equipment, but I'm gonna talk a little bit about what we're doing today. So, we're gonna do some exercises where we're gonna tire out a muscle by holding a position static, and then we're gonna move more dynamically. So for example, we're gonna start in a lunge, holding that lunge statically on both sides, then we're gonna dynamically move in that lunge. I'll give you some options for the movement. We've got a similar structure for squats. So holding a squat statically and then moving dynamically. Why that is helpful, especially with body weight, holding it statically tires out those muscles. So it gets them nice and tired so that you can really feel it when you're moving dynamically, especially when you don't have additional weights with you, okay? So here is how we're gonna start. We're gonna start in a lunge. So we've got this back knee down towards the ground. Try to get this thigh parallel to the ground, torso up nice and high. And we're just holding. Holding and breathing. Sometimes it's harder to just hold than it is to move. We're just breathing here. Couple more breaths here. Perfect. Shake that one out. We're just gonna do the exact same thing on the other side. So now we're gonna bring our other foot back. Set up nice and tall on that lunge. Bend both knees and breathe, okay? Second side here for the static hold for the lunge. You can do anything you want with your arms, depending on how your legs are feeling. You might need to pray, I don't know. But do whatever you feel you need to do with your arms here. Keep breathing. Okay, now we're gonna rest, shake those out. Now we're gonna do alternating reverse lunges. So again, we tired out those quads holding it statically. Now we're going to alternate the reverse lunge to really get that extra pump in those legs, okay? So here we go. Alternating lunges, full range of motion. Make sure we're breathing. Keep it up, doing great. All right, take a breath. Okay, so that was our lunge sequence. We're doing something very similar with the squat. So we're gonna hold a squat, then we're gonna do some squats, and then for this one, we're gonna add an additional exercise, which is the bridge walkout, working the backs of our legs. So, the lunges and the squats, we're working our quads, which is very important to have strong quadriceps, but we also need to work circumferentially, right? We need to build the muscles in the front and the backs of our legs. So that's why we're adding in the bridge walkouts for this section. I'm gonna take a quick sip of water. Okay, so a couple of things with our squats. Feet at least shoulder width apart. Toes can be pointed straight forward or slightly out. Get in a squat stance that feels nice and comfortable for you. Because remember, we're getting down in it and we're holding it, okay? Let's get ready. We're coming down into that squat hold. Nice and deep. Again, do whatever you want to do with your hands. The Macarena, I don't know. Or just sit and relax. Breathe. Couple more seconds here. Fantastic. All right, shake that out. Now we're going to go to squats. So just up and down squats. Similar stance to what you were doing before. All right. Keep it up. Make sure we're coming all the way up. Standing up nice and tall. Sitting all the way down in that squat. Inhale down. Exhale up. Keep it up. Fantastic. So now we're going to come down to the ground and we're going to do some bridge walkouts. So I'm here on my back. Hips will be up nice and high in a bridge, and I'll just walk my feet out slightly and walk them back in. Key thing with the bridge, press your feet down in the ground to lift those hips up. We've got a little walk out and a little walk back in. Make sure you're breathing and maintain those hips up nice and high. All right, fantastic work. Okay, so we're gonna go through all that again. This time I'm gonna give you some different options with the dynamic movement. So we're still gonna hold both the lunge and the bridge, but now with the dynamic movement, we can either just do the alternating lunges like we did, or we can add in some plyometrics. Completely up to you, but I'll show you what those look like. So if you're feeling like you've got actually a good amount of energy, you're feeling froggy today, I encourage you to try some of the plyometrics. So either jump lunges or jump squats. If you're not feeling that way, if your knees aren't feeling great, or if you just don't have a lot of energy, not a problem. We will still push through with the squats or the lunges. Okay, so we're gonna start off with that lunge again, that lunge hold. I'm gonna challenge you to try to get a little deeper in that lunge. And what that means is try to get that back knee down closer to the ground, okay? Torso up nice and high. Let's get down here and hold it. Breathe. Nice, big deep inhale, nice slow exhale. Again, whatever you wanna do with those arms, up to you. Perfect. All right, same thing on the other side here. So let's get in our stance. Torso up nice and high. Try to challenge yourself, get that back knee down, and we breathe. So you should probably feel those legs shaking. These quads are really starting to work right now. You're doing fantastic. Keep it up. All right, shake it out. So here we go. Now we got the different option here for the reverse lunge. So we can either do the same reverse lunge that we did the first round, or we can add a little plyo into it. So if we're adding plyo into it, we're just doing a little hop when we're switching on our lunges. All right, so option one, exactly what we did first round. Again, if you're feeling froggy, put a little hop in it. So make sure we're breathing. Those quads should be burning. All right, rest. Shake it on out. So we got the same thing with the squats, okay? So first part, that squat hold, we get in our squat stance, torso up nice and high, hips down nice and low, and we hold and breathe. Then we're going to the regular squats. We can either do air squats or we can do a little squat jump, completely up to you. All right, let's all take a nice big breath in. Big breath out. All right. Here we go. Feet at least shoulder width apart. Again, toes either pointed straight forward or slightly out. Let's get ready to hop down into that squat stance. So we're down nice and deep, torso up nice and high, and we breathe. Guys are doing absolutely phenomenal. Keep it up. A few more seconds here. Okay, we got a quick shake out. And we got the air squats. So again, either regular squats or a little jump squat. Here are your options. Regular squat, just like we did in the first round. Or put a little hop in there. If we're not hopping, full range of motion, all the way up, all the way down. Perfect. Shake that out. Now we're back on the ground for those bridge walkouts. With the bridge, if you want to challenge yourself, go ahead and walk your feet out a little farther, and then take your time to walk them back. All right, hips up. Trust me, your hamstrings will tell you when to bring those feet back in. So nice and controlled out. Nice and controlled in. All right. Fantastic. Congratulations on round one. A good chunk of the workout's already over and done with. Okay, let's take a breath. Shake it out. Okay, here's what we have coming up. We've got In this next set, we've got a bird dog, hand release push-ups, and some mountain climbers. So here's what we do. Bird dog. We're down on all fours, opposite hand and opposite foot. So my right hand is going out, my left foot is going back. Back down. Opposite. Nice and slow and controlled. This is core work, shoulder work, a little bit of glute work. Second exercise, hand release push-ups. That means I'm coming all the way down to the ground, lifting my hands up, pushing all the way back up. Here's what it looks like. All the way down to the ground, can lift my hands up, push all the way back up, okay? We can do this from our toes or from our knees, does not matter. What this really trains is doing full push-ups. What this prevents is this, okay? We want to do full range of motion push-ups, whether we're on our knees or on our toes. Lastly, we got mountain climbers. My hands are right below my shoulders. Now I'm bringing my knees in towards my torso, okay? All right, let's get going. Bird dog, opposite hand, opposite foot. Nice and controlled, all the way out, pause, bring them back down. Make sure we're breathing here. So again, we're getting into some shoulders and some core with this. Take a quick rest. Now we're getting into those hand release push-ups. Remember, all the way down to the ground, all the way back up. So this gives you an out. If you come down and you don't think you're gonna make it back up, come all the way down to the ground, take a rest, push all the way back up. Again, it can be on your toes or your knees. Here we go. All the way down, lift those hands, push all the way back up. All the way down, lift those hands, all the way back up. Here's what it looks like on your toes. Make sure we're breathing. Inhale down, exhale up. Okay, take a quick rest here. We got mountain climbers. So we just worked our shoulders and our chest in those push-ups. We're doubling down on those shoulders in these mountain climbers here. So again, hands right below our shoulders, really press into the ground and really try to focus on bringing those knees into the chest. All right, let's go. And you can take your time here, making sure you're squeezing in nice and tight, or you could put a little hop into it. Completely up to you. Keep breathing. All right, take a breath. Okay, this second set of exercises here. We got plank jacks, we've got a bear crawl, and we got a forearm plank. Plank jacks, similar position to those mountain climbers. We're here in a plank position, but now our legs are going in and out like a jumping jack. Bear crawl. My hands stay right below my shoulders. I lift those knees up, and I'm moving laterally. Opposite hand, opposite foot. I know it's a lot of coordination, but y'all got it. Last one, forearm plank hold. We're just here. Holding either here or here. Either way, my torso is nice and straight. My core is engaged. All right. So we're gonna start off with those plank jacks. If you can't tell, this section of work is about upper body. Shoulders, arms, and chest. All right, let's get it. Plank jacks. If this little bit of bounce is too much, just tap out. Tap, tap, tap. Just make sure your core is nice and engaged. You get a little bit of lateral movement. That's all we're trying to do here. All right. Next, we're going to move to that bear crawl. So I'm moving to one end of my mat, so I have plenty of room to move. Again, opposite hand, opposite foot. If this is early in the morning for you, I apologize for all the coordination, but as I said before, you guys got it. All right, so let's get up into that bear plank. With the bear plank, my knees are barely off the ground. They stay nice and low, and I'm trying to just move as easily as I can laterally. So I don't want my hips up in the sky. I want my knees just barely off the ground here. All right, take a breath. Now we got that forearm plank. So forearm plank, Forearms are on the ground. Our elbows sit right below our shoulders. Core is nice and engaged. All right, here we go. So we're either up here on our toes or we drop down to our knees. Either way, core is nice and engaged. My hips aren't dipping down or up. Nice and engaged. Keep breathing here. All right. So we're going through all those exercises again one more time. So now we're comfortable with them. Let's try to push ourselves a little bit here. So with body weight, you're pushing yourself with range of motion and maybe with tempo, okay? So since we don't have additional weights to put on, that's how we up the exercise. So again, we're starting with the bird dog here. So this set, bird dog, hand release push-ups, and the mountain climbers. Body weight work is actually really important because this is how we move in life. When you're moving around, chasing your kids, chasing your dog, all these different types of things, you're moving around with your body weight. So it's very important to understand how it moves in space and to be able to control its movement in space. So this is very real world applicable. All right, here we go. Bird dog. Opposite hand, opposite foot. Make sure we're breathing. Core engaged. Couple more here. All right, take a rest. Now we're going to those hand release push-ups. People always ask, how do you get good at push-ups? You do push-ups. We're gonna do some push-ups. All right, remember, we're coming all the way down to the ground, pushing all the way back up. This is how we get that full range of motion push-up. All the way down, lift those hands, push all the way up. Key thing with push-ups is that it actually is a full body exercise. So my legs are very much engaged. You can see my thighs are off the ground here. That really helps give you the foundation that you need for doing the push-up. Next, we got the mountain climber. If you guys have ever tried to pick up a kid that does not want to be picked up and kind of turns into spaghetti, that's what it's like doing a push-up when the rest of your body isn't engaged, right? So making sure that everything is nice and engaged when you do the push-up. All right, mountain climbers, here we go. So again, we can put a little hop in it, or nice and controlled. Regardless, we're bringing that knee in, nice and tight. Keep breathing. All right, take a quick rest. Okay, coming up, we've got the set of work. We've got our plank jacks, we've got our bear crawl, we got our forearm plank. You guys are doing absolutely phenomenal. Okay, key things to remember. Plank jacks, hands directly under our shoulders, core nice and engaged. So plank jacks, mountain climbers, push-ups, everything, similar engagement of the rest of our body, even if we're more focused on our upper body. All right, you guys, this is the last little bit of work here. Feel free to modify if you need to. I will show some modifications, but if you have a little extra in the tank, this is where to let it go, when to absolutely let it go. All right, let's go ahead and get into that plank position. Let's get it in. Plank jacks, here we go. Again, a little bit of pop if you'd like, or tap out. Okay, keep breathing. This is our last little bit of work, everyone. You're doing absolutely phenomenal. You've already put in 25 minutes of work. Just got a couple more minutes left. All right, take a breath. Now we got that bear crawl. Again, we're moving laterally across our mat on that bear crawl. Making sure we keep our knees barely off the ground. And I mean barely, just a couple of inches off the ground here while we're moving across our mat. Let's start, hands right under shoulders here. Lift those knees up, and let's go. Nice and controlled. Opposite hand, opposite foot. and breathe. All right, take a breath. Last little bit of work. Last little bit of work here, everyone. Forearm plank hold, and then we're cooling down. This is it. 20 seconds left of work, then we are done. Let's get in that forearm plank position. Let's do it. 20 seconds here. Either on your toes or on your knees. Does not matter. But we're holding it. All the way till the timer goes off here. Keep it up. Make sure we're breathing. Amazing. Great job, everybody. You absolutely killed it. So, as you can see, you don't need a lot of additional weights to get in a good workout. If you plan it out strategically and really work those muscles, you can get a great workout doing body weight. All right, let's go ahead and start off with some bear hugs for that cool down. So I would just shake it out those shoulders a little bit. We did a lot with the shoulders today. We did push-ups, we did mountain climbers, bear plank. We did a lot. So we're just giving them a little love. All right, now let's get into a quad stretch. So we also did a whole lot with the quads. So we did the lunges, the lunge hold, and the up and down lunges, and the squats. So we really worked those quads. And as you can see with that combination of holding an exercise and then moving dynamically, you can really tire out a muscle group with no additional weights. All right, let's go ahead and switch to the other side here. Stretching out those quads. All right, let's get into a nice wide straddle here. And we're going to stretch down to the middle. So now we're stretching out those hamstrings a bit. So we got those hamstrings in those bridge walkouts. So if you're like me in the 40 plus club, do not forget to do these cool downs, okay? Warm ups and cool downs are absolutely critical because this is what allows us to get back to working out again. And mixing in things like this, the body weight workouts with our heavy strength workouts, mixing up these types of things, it's really helpful to create a very well-rounded workout routine. All right, we're gonna reach to the right here. So now I'm stretching out that right hamstring. All right, coming on over to this left side. So make sure you give yourself the time and give your body the ability to recover. It is really just as critical as the workouts themselves. All right, we're gonna go ahead and reach over to the side. So now I'm stretching my oblique. So we did a lot of core work in here. So we wanna make sure that we get a good stretch on that oblique. Let's get to the other side. Nice big stretch. And depending on your flexibility, you might be up here. You might be up here. You might be over here. That's okay. You just want to make sure that you're feeling the stretch where you're supposed to. All right. Everyone, please make sure you put your weights away. Thank you so much for joining me for my 30-minute full body weight strength. I hope you had a good time. Again, my name is Coach Jennison. I'll see you on the mat.